Back by popular demand, we're gonna learn some more coffee stuff because there's nothing more masculine and more gentlemanly than being able to make your guest the perfect latte or coffee or however they want their coffee. But today, we're gonna learn how to make the ultimate latte. An amazing latte that, unfortunately, we're not gonna be doing latte art though. That's gonna be in a later video. You need, I'll go into it later, but you need a certain portafilter for that, and I don't really have everything geared up for that system yet. So we're just gonna go into a basic ass latte, a masculine gentleman latte without the fancy feminine art on it. But don't get me wrong, I do love a good latte art, but we're just not set up for that yet. So without further ado, let's get into how you guys can make an amazing latte with your own espresso machine at home so you don't need to pay $6 for that shit. So let's get into it. So firstly, I'm gonna go through the things that you need to do this. Number one, super important, you need to get the exact milk as well. You need to get 3.25, I think it is. Yep, 3.25% milk. You need the extra fats in it so it froths it properly. So you need this milk. Any brand will do, but you do need a high percent of fat in there. Number two, you need a milk frothing jug. I always have trouble pronouncing that word. Frothing, there we go. You need that jug. You need that jug to be able to put your milk in and make the steamed milk. Also, you need your favorite cup. Don't forget your favorite cup. And then obviously, you need the machine and some coffee and a knockbox and your prepping tools. So let's get into this. Now that you know what you need, let's get into the application and how to make this thing. Let's get it. So firstly, we're gonna clear the last puck. Then we're gonna put our coffee in the portafilter. This isn't the proper professional way to do it, but we're rednecking this shit today. And because we're using this certain portafilter, it's a pressurized one. You'll see the little things down here. This, you can basically prep this any way that you want and it's gonna turn out the same. So you don't really need to be too finicky with it. I'm just waiting on some things for the other equipment. And then you tamper. You clear out the end here. And then you put your portafilter in, baby. Okay. So now we got that in. What we can do is we can get our shot of coffee going. Okay, so we got our double shot of espresso here. So we'll just put this onto the side. And we'll use that later here. Now the key is to do this quick so that doesn't cool down. I usually just get that going. So I don't like my coffee too hot, so I usually just do that first, put it off to the side. It's done, I don't need to worry about it. And then I can really focus on steaming the milk, because this is a little bit trickier. It takes a little bit of technique to do. So for this machine, hit the steam button here and it'll prime it. And then you basically, for this machine, you can put it in there, put that down. It's going to spray it in that hole there. And then it'll start to steam. You'll see steam coming out of that. That means it's ready. So the key to steaming this correctly is you want to angle this out a little bit like that. Put the tip in so the milk goes about 1.5 inches maybe up. You have to go by the sounds. You'll figure out by yourself like the sounds. Just listen for the sounds that this makes and then it'll give you an idea. See how this sounds very, very mellow. Okay, you hear that sound. You want to go a little bit higher. It kind of quiets a bit. And then just hold it right there, where it's that steady hissing sound. And you want to angle the end, if you look in here a little bit. It's kind of on a 45 pointing towards the wall. And the milk inside is circulating. That's the key. You want the milk to be circulating. And I have my hand on the bottom. That's to check the temperature. Once it gets to a certain point where your hand can barely stand the heat, that's when it's almost done. And then you take your hand, you'll end up taking your hand off the bottom so you don't burn yourself. And then wait another like 5 seconds to heat it up the rest of the way. And you want to keep the jug level. You don't want to tilt it. And then when it's getting to the end, you want to put more of the warm tip in the jug, deeper into the milk. This is the warm tip that we're using to steam the milk. Just like that, a little bit deeper in. Boom. And it's good. That is our steamed milk. It smells amazing. You clean off the wand tip there so you don't have any dried milk. And what you want to do once you're done, you want to swish it around and keep it from settling. And you want to tap the bottom like that. Now once you have your espresso shot and your steamed milk, all you have to do, super simple, is combine the two. So you dump your shot in the cup, pound that around so it's not stuck. And you really want to do this. This is really to get latte art going, make it fancy, your fancy stuff. We're not doing anything fancy here yet. That'll be on a future video when I get all the other parts in and I can actually do it. But just for the showmanship of the whole thing, we'll do that. And then say you want to do latte art. We'll pretend we're doing latte art. What you want to do is you want to get this one going. I'm terrible at it, but you basically see how the shot's kind of like it's going in a circle, kind of like that. But you want it to go in a circle as you're dumping this in. I'm very bad at it. I'm gonna have to practice so I can show you how to do this. And then once it gets up to about there, you stop and then you make your latte art with the last bit. But it doesn't have the makings of making good latte art with the equipment that we're using. But you just combine the two like that and you have an amazing latte that's going to taste pretty much the same. So so cheers, guys. We'll try it. Yeah, I'm glad I let that shot sit because it's pretty warm. Amazing. So that's how you make a latte from home. So you don't need to look in the manual anymore, you can just watch this video. That's the basic form of how to make the most amazing latte you'll taste, because you're spending well under $6 to make this. It gets expensive when you go out and you buy lattes. The standard latte in Nova Scotia here is about $6. Then you add a tip and it's, you're looking at around $7. It's crazy. So you can make one of these at home and save cash, feel good, and honestly, this tastes just as good as a latte that I'd get at my favorite place. The thing that really makes the difference when you go out and buy a latte, though, is the people that you talk to that make your latte. You go to your regular spot, you build that relationship with them, you talk to them, have a good time. That's where it gets worth it to go out and buy one of these. But just on an average day, when you're getting ready to do your work, now you have the comfort knowing that you can go make yourself an amazing latte with your machine, and let me know how it turns out, guys. So God bless. Make coffee the cornerstone at the start of your day, and yeah, baby, let's get today and face it with a coffee.